So what did he say?
He said, you all people who make jokes and make fun of me, all of you, every single one of you work for like 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, and didn't make what I make in just one live stream show.
I think that's true.
In the monthly salary, we're talking about monthly salary, not like a daily work. Yeah.
So, meaning, you see, social media is now beginning to give people the freedom of just doing what they are interested in. So they follow their pursuit, just enjoy their time being on the camera, but meanwhile they get being paid.
Yeah, I shall say not like it's giving people money for doing silly things.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes it's really dangerous. It makes you depressed. You work hard, you study hard, you had a certificate, you had high certificate, and you see one person who didn't even know how to read, how to write, and he makes like, in one night he makes more than you make in your year, not months. Year.
So meaning, what we are saying that the certificate doesn't really matter these days. It's not about certificate, right? So if you can just be yourself, get the opportunity to interact with people online, because people are usually lonely, let's say in their rooms. They don't have people to actually engage them in interactions for them to be present, right? So if you are online and able to try to interact with people, share things that people would be interested in, people would be willing to give you their attention. And now today what we say is attention is currency.
You know why? Because when those people go live and share their private things they do in their daily life, people who are miss these things, like when some blogger go live and share his birthday party.
That's right.
You would watch the whole party because you are hoping that you have like a similar party like this.
That's true.
So it's an issue.
That's true. So there are issues with that because sometimes it has to do with mental health. There are mental health issues. The people usually see what others share of their lives and they start comparing themselves to the life of others. That is one thing. Another thing too is the fact that people see themselves in others. So let's say if I'm able to share my life on stream or on the video like this, you realize that someone elsewhere would relate to what I'm saying if he's been thinking about what I've discussed. So he'll be thinking, okay, well, there's someone like me who also goes through life the same way as I do. So one way or the other, he can get relief. But others too are comparing at the same time. When people show this flashy lifestyle, that is the problem. That is when people start getting, oh, how can I get these? How can I do these? How can you do this? So it leads to mental health issues. So you realize that last time when we were talking about the unseen dimension, as I spoke about, that is the 4 quadrants: the physical, the mental, the emotional, and then we have the spiritual. Good. So you realize that people's focus usually are on the physical, not on the...
because they want what they see.
Good.
That's why they focus.
So that is so you see the statement. I came to realize that statement, that seeing is believing, is not really seeing. It's rather believing which is seeing, because most part of us is unseen.
Of course.
So if what we just see, we think that is all it is by looking at people's flashy cars, flashy mansions, their lifestyle, and we think that's all it is. No, there's something behind that we're not seeing. Maybe they are having those flashy stuff, but they're not really happy, right? So don't just compare yourself to see yourself, oh, well, I wish I could be this. Maybe you are having a private life, you are enjoying life much better than he is doing, because he's got stuck to see, allowing people to see him. So without letting people to see him, or her, they don't feel comfortable, so they are used to it.
Of course.
But you are having some kind of privacy. That privacy allows you to go along with your daily lives without being disturbed. I'll get it. So these are the things people don't understand. So you realize that most of the things that let me pick the call. Yeah, hello. Yeah, Mutaz. So, hello guys. We're just talking about social interactions. Today, how interactions have gone past just sitting with a friend and talking, especially with social media available now. You find people get engaged through interactions on social media. So people get engaged through social media and try to relate with the people that host such program. So I was just talking with my friend here about the effect of some of these things, right? Through social interactions on social media, people, are able to relate with others that share their lives online. At the same time, too, people misinterpret some of these interactions when they see the flashy lifestyle of people online showing off their flashy cars, flashy lifestyle, flashy mansions, and we begin comparing ourselves to them. When you compare yourself to such people, what happens is there is what we call, it usually leads to mental health problems, because when you keep comparing yourself to people when you don't know the reality of their life and you wish you had the same, it's going to be a problem in the long while. So that is why we were just talking about some aspect of what I ever spoke about in the book, The Game of Reality, where I spoke about the seen dimension of our reality and the unseen dimension of our reality. If you look at a circle with 4 quadrants, the first left quadrant, upper left quadrant, is more like, I don't know whether I drew that before. Yes, first half of the quadrant is more like the physical dimension of our reality. That is what we usually see of people, our body, and beyond. So we think that is all that exists about our reality. Meanwhile, there are unseen aspects of our reality which we usually don't see or interact with, which is our mental dimension of reality, the mental dimension of reality, the emotional dimension of reality, and the spiritual dimension of our reality. Because we don't really interact with some of these aspects of our reality, we get so much hooked up or stuck into the physical. And sometimes when we face problems, we don't even understand why we face such problems. So yeah, so we're just talking about what are your insights about that too, about the unseen dimension of our reality. What do you think is a problem with regards to why people don't usually think about that aspect of our reality?
The spiritual
yes, or the unseen or mental, because maybe I would say the mental is even closer than emotional. Then we have the spiritual, because these are 3. But spiritual is something very dicey. People usually don't even talk about because we don't know much about it. But maybe mental, let's say, we know when we were attending school, it is a part of us that was being developed, right? But how well was it developed? Because as I told you yesterday, there was this guy who went to school studying just because his girlfriend cheated on him. He committed suicide. That is meaning that issue has gotten him into a mental issue for him to even think of assassinating him. But it has to do with not knowing his values, not understanding his value, what really mattered to him. He thought his whole life was just around the lady. I'll get it. Yeah.
When people do this, they have a problem with their beliefs. Like the one who commits suicide because his girlfriend is cheating on him is committing suicide because he's believing is that his girlfriend is everything in his life, and when this person is gone out of his life, the life is over.
That's right.
So he didn't know that there are something beyond this. He can't believe that there is, let's say, he has to believe with the creator.
Yeah, I get it.
Not everyone are Muslims, but let's say we have a creator of all this universe who create this girl, can easily create a million girls.
There are many million girls that you should look after.
So we have to believe in something, but it's the inside of the things. We call it the diamond of the body. Your heart.
So from what you said, the insight I'm getting is, you see, there's life. Just as yesterday we were talking about, life is something which is not actually physical, but we think life is physical. But when you ask people what is life, people will tell you, get a beautiful wife, have beautiful children, a beautiful certificate, a good certificate, a good work, a good car. That is what people think life is. But in actual fact, as I keep saying, life is not tangible. If I ask you if I should tell what life is when you focus on your breath. You see, when you breathe in and out, that is life. You are living a life.
Yeah.
But people, as we keep saying, as we said earlier, people think life is what they see around. But life itself is unseen.
As I told you, something beyond this.
Good. So it's something beyond that. So
Unseen.
you realize that it's unseen. So if to better understand life, it's bringing your mind to the three things we're talking about: the mental, emotional, and the spiritual. When you bring your attention to these things, you would understand how life is better than as compared to people who see life to be the physical things that they see.
Yeah, of course.
Meaning you are in charge of your own life. Nobody is an architect of your life. You can create your own life.
Yeah.
Not people. It's not for people to create your life for you. You create your own reality because you are the one having your life.
Of course.
But meanwhile, the life that was given to you is more like a trust from God. I hope you get it. So if you are dwelling your life upon a girl, then it seems like you don't think you have anything left. So because the girl did something, you decide to take your own life. The life, meaning the life that we are giving you, you saw that life as something that is meant for the girl, that it was created because of, but it is a trust from God to come and live a life, to come and live a period on earth, and then you go back. And I keep saying, life, if you look at our life, we are not mortal. Life doesn't, if you believe in the hereafter, you realize that life doesn't end. It's the body that dies. Our body
that dies
with this in it. But the life, our soul continues.
Soul continues the journey
to the unseen.
Yep. Of course.
So we are just here temporarily. That's what we say in the Quran talks about a dunya, a temporal place. So the soul, imagine what happened when the creation of Adam was done. What happened? It says in the Quran, وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي فَقَعُوا لَهُ سَاجِدِينَ. So I breathe in him my soul, the spirit, and I asked the angels to bow down to him. So they did bow. Satan refused to do, because Satan knew the power of the life that was given to Adam, right?
Yeah, right.
Ever since he became an enemy of Adam. So he doesn't come to you. You don't see him. You see that thing. So that you won't see Adam. You won't see Satan for you to fight him. It's still in the unseen. And how does it attack us? It comes through whispers, as-sudur, wiswas as-sudur. It comes through. So these are the parts. So this is where the mental. We can even associate mental to the head.
Of course.
The emotional aspect to the heart. The spiritual goes there. So the thing is, either he gives you negative thoughts about yourself. I'm not good enough. This girl is. People won't see the good in me. People will think I'm this. So that's Satan, in a way. Your heart, when you start feeling negative thoughts, emotions, then it's also taking advantage of you. So that's the thing. So if you don't take ownership of your mental and your emotional dimension, you don't even get to the spiritual.
Of course. course.
You don't get even to the spiritual. So life, it's, as I said yesterday, it's not solid.
Short.
It's short. You also say life is short, obviously, because in the world that we are living now, it's just something temporary. But it's continuous. We think it's short here, but there's a longer journey waiting for us, because our life will never end. But the body will die and will live to another reality. So how prepared are we for the other reality? That's the question. Yeah. So people think it's only this life. So if I don't get a car, I don't get a beautiful wife, people reject me, that's it about this life. I can't live life.
Yeah.
So that tells us that you're living here temporarily, let's enjoy it. But enjoy it positively to leave a better legacy. Don't just make your life miserable. Or sometimes there's a writer that says that we are the ones who cause our own suffering. Because we don't understand the realities of life, unfortunately we cause our own demise. But if we understand these dimensions, that no, the world is beyond what we see. So that is why I came to that conclusion that no, then we need to keep our mental, our emotional and spiritual intact. Nobody can say it. I can show off my money, my cars, my everything. But that aspect of it, if without the physical things, I can still make myself happy. I shouldn't wait for someone to make me happy, a lady or a woman or money or people to make me happy. If I can't make myself happy, nobody can make me happy.
Of course.
When we understand this philosophy, we realize that life is even easier. Life is not far away from us. As I say, it's not in the physical, it's with us. It's in the unseen within us. So that is life.
Right.
And that about comparing them to the state of matter in physics, that is solid, liquid, and gas. So the physical world is solid, right? The mental, we can say it's liquid. The emotional is what? Is gas. And there's a higher level of the matter, which is plasma, that is the heavenly bodies, that is mass or those things in space.
Yeah, because
plasma.
Yep.
So, and this plasma is a high energy. So, if you want to be someone of aura at a high energy, then you should have moved from your mental, emotional to spiritual. So, you are more of an energy, more than matter. And when there's matter, that's something solid, and energy. Energy would crush matter. It's just like hurricane. Hurricane is gas, it's fluid, right? So when there's a big building, hurricane can just destroy this.
Destroy it. Yeah.
You see so that's how powerful our life is, or the energy within us. Yeah, but we don't know that our energy is a creative force.
If you believe in your energy, in your inside energy, and focus it on something, you could succeed.
That's it.
Whatever.
That's it. So what I believe is our energy is so powerful that Satan is jealous of that.
We're born powerless. We're born without our certificate. We're born without our language. You know, this is not my mother language.
Yeah. But you're doing well, so you're doing well. Yes. So that is the power of human being.
We believe in ourselves.
We can do anything we assume ourselves doing it.
As we believe that we could do anything in the world.
Yeah, that's right.
Japanese, look at the Germans. They were destroyed. They get up from the dash and build the most powerful civilization in the world.
That's right.
And look.
So meaning, at any point in time in life, even if you come to your zero, you can go back to hero.
Yep.
When you believe in yourself. So the investment, yesterday I was sharing this philosophy, this principle about the Cummins principle. That's 80, 20, 80. That is, success comes from within. So 18% of the effort should be an inner game. Your mindset, your belief, your emotions, your perception. So the way you see, the way you should shape your inner game, the way you see opportunities is different from the way others see it. So it will lead you to identify 20% actions or 20% outer games, the strategies you should use to make 80% impact.
Yep.
So you realize that all these things we were not taught in school. But sometimes, you see, as I was talking about, life is a game. Like any game, it has its rules. It has its rules. And the one thing we don't know about life offers us the opportunity to set our own rules. But nobody tells us that. We rather think that the rules that were set by the community, society, by people, are the rules we should just follow. So we never think that, no, if you are following a rule and it's not working for you, you need to tweak it. You need to tweak the rules and say, no, this is what I think would not what people are saying. This is the rules that I think would favor me. So why not go by that rule? When you understand that, it becomes much more easier. So you start understanding yourself and create the rule that's right, because what works for someone might not work for you. If you understand that and you know that you are the architect of your own rules or your own reality in life, it becomes easy.
Yeah, of course.
But nobody teaches this to us, so we need to face it and get it ourselves, craft it ourselves, and then move on. And nobody tells. So that is why people have fears and doubts. That's one thing. People have fears and doubt because they don't think they can mess up. Sometimes, there's this hadith that says, "Kullukum khatta'un wa khayra at-ta'una at-tawwabun." So meaning, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even created us to feel like we are vulnerable. Mess up. Do anything that comes to your mind, just take it. Because anything that comes to your mind is an idea from a bigger pool of information. In quantum physics, they call it the quantum field. They said that the field of information of any possibilities. What I like to believe is the same as the Rasul talk about Lawh al-Mahfuz, the divine tablet, the preserved tablet. Anything that you think about is already in Lawh al-Mahfuz. It's nothing new, but it's a creation. So our thoughts, that is where creation begins. Allah created us with the word kun fayakun. So the word that comes into your mind, any idea that comes to you, is more like a word. It's intangible. It's not something which is physical, but it's at a higher level of energy.
Of course.
When you focus on it, you solidify it, and before you realize it becomes your reality. I hope you get it. Before you realize it becomes your reality. But nobody teaches us that. So we doubt ourselves. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do that. No. Forget anybody and just do what you trust in yourself. Because what I've come to realize is that trust in yourself is out of trust of Allah. Because you trust, Allah said, in Surah, was it Teen? What Teen was it?
وطور سينين.
وهذا البلد الأمين لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن التقويم. Allah has told you you're powerful, but He created you perfect. أحسن التقويم. But the society in which we grew up in, you listen to this one says this, so we become timid. Myself, I've been timid for years. There were points in the university I would share my thoughts, but I didn't know my thoughts were so powerful. And so this last 2 years that I researched, I sat down and realized that, look, Allah has given you everything. Sit down and then contemplate. That's what Allah talks about. Don't you contemplate? So you have a mind for you to contemplate about the situations around you.
Of course.
And Allah also said in the Quran about I forgot this ayah that says He won't change the situation of a people unless they change themselves.
لا يغير الله ما بقوم حتى
يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. So meaning everything, subhanallah, Allah has given us every ability to do what we want to do.
Absolutely. So you have to do your part, and God will help you.
That's true. So meaning God is always there for us. So I came to a conclusion that everything is available to us. Everything. If you don't have it, you didn't figure it out. Or it didn't come to you by chance for a reason. But everything that you think you don't have is already there. So it's just, that's why belief is very important. Belief is very, very important.
Of course.
But as I said, people think seeing is believing. But no, believing is seeing. Because it's like a heart that pierces through the wall. Right? When you believe with the heart. So it pierces through the wall. Right? So I think there's a hadith that says that the sight of a believer is what? The belief of because of his belief is like an arrow. So these things may look metaphysical, like we are used to the physical things, so we don't think in terms of metaphysical stuff, things which are not in the physical. We always think physical. So it's hard to believe unless you experience it. Like the scenario I ever shared last time, that I went to Mecca, right? I was in a masjid. That was 10 minutes for iftar. I was reading the Quran, but I felt the energy of the recitation. So I kept reading it. As I was reading it, what happened? Before I realized, someone came. I told myself, look, I have to go 10 minutes, but I said, no, let me wait. 1 minute before someone came, I told myself I'll get iftar. So just 1 minute before that, I just got the iftar. Someone also came and gave me iftar. Another person gave me iftar. That was a thought. But because I believed in it, and that belief, imagine me, when Allah said, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ, this is a book in which there's no doubt. هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ is what? It's a guidance for those who have consciousness, just as we are having, we are in our conscious state. هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, those who believe in the unseen. So imagine, this is a secret code God is giving it to us.
Absolutely.
When you believe, what happens? You take out fear, rape, doubt. So healing comes out of not just physical healing of health, but taking out fears, taking out doubt, forgetting what people will say.
Absolutely.
When you take that doubt, your belief is solidifying. Whatever you believe in, God will just make it available to you. Miracles have happened, and miracles still happen if you believe in them. The reason I told you last time, the reason why Allah spoke about Mary in the Quran, when Zakaria came and Anna laki hada, where from this? He was even surprised. He was a prophet, but he was surprised. Allah is not just telling us, He's just telling us about the certainty of belief and what can happen from that.
Absolutely.
But we stuck in the world, so some of this unseen stuff, we really don't believe it. Unless we go through certain real situations, like hard situations, then that is when we call it. And I would say it's not something that is hidden away from us. It's something that we are just to remember. It's our fitrah. It's a natural disposition. We are so powerful that we don't understand. The thing is, I ever said this, like, let's say for example, we have this guy. We have, let's say, let me put this pen, for example. I put this pen down and I start focusing on this pen. Thinking this pen will fulfill my need. It would. But I don't know. I'm the one infiltrating my energy into this thing.
You could.
That is idol worship. But Allah gave us, our God gave us this energy. Energy within us is so powerful. Anything you put your attention onto it, it would activate. The same way when I see a lady sitting there, I just keep looking at the girl, right, or the lady, sternly. Before you realize, she will shift, and someone is looking at me.
Staring.
She will stare because I'm staring at her,
Yeah.
and I will stare at her so uncomfortably. So she starts changing her dynamics, like she was her mood. That's how powerful our energy is.
Absolutely.
So why don't we focus on our own craft? Focus on our attention. Focus on our thing, because as I say, today attention is currency. As I said last time with you in the book, that is, values is the compass that guide our decisions. What's most important to us? 2 is thought, our blueprint of reality. And then 3 is emotions, which emotions is like the fuel of our actions. Sometimes we do things based on our emotions, but we don't even know how we feel. And energy is more like energy. The best way to put energy would be like, how would I put it? I forgot it. So energy, it's the effects of our emotions, right? But time is where it happens. Sometimes we look into the past. When we think about the past, maybe past rejection, something that happened in the past, it prevents us from living in the present. And we are thinking the future will be the same. But we're supposed to live in the present. Think about ourselves now. What can I do today? In the next 5 years, that would turn out to be something big. But we keep thinking about the future. What are you doing now? So there's this book about The Power of Now, that's by Eckhart Tolle. That is one powerful book that talks about present. And I think it's one book that also shaped my spiritual reality, my understanding of the spiritual dimension. Like, live in the present. When you live in the present, think about the life you're having. So people are now crying for their life somewhere, on bed. But we are here with the name of Allah gave it to us. And imagine the energy. That is how Allah restores our energy. Every day you sleep. When you sleep, you know what happens? Your soul is taken. For a renewal of energy, the following day you wake up fully energized so that you can go to work.
You have to be really thankful.
Yes. So that's what people talk about gratitude.
About the things we had. We have to keep connected with our Allah, with our salah, to pray, to dua, to do good things, to help other people who like to do the good things we could do. And even if we weren't Muslims, Christians, Jewish, Buddhists, it's the same things, because like all the religion wants us to be a good persons, wants us to be like do good things, wants us to have a good connection with the God, the
Creator,
or whatever they called in their religion. So this is a problem for the atheists who hasn't any beliefs. That's why they are like, as you talk, like he believed that no one has created this universe.
Yes, that's right.
So that's why he could easily end his life. That's why. So
that is it's a beautiful, insightful conversation. So guys, I think this is just one of our trial versions for. Let's say hopefully would have more of these live sessions just to interact. If you have any other things that you want to share with us, we'll be glad, because you can follow these accounts. It's an account which wasn't active, but hopefully with such discussions would be active with time.
Activated.
Yes.
Account.
Thanks for being here with us. See you another time. Bye.